Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira, the CEO and founder of Kismet Ventures. I am a John Maxwell certified coach and am on a prowl to expose people who are instilling values in other people. And once I find them and I expose them, then I promote them through my channel. And today's guest is Victor. Victor, thank you so much for doing this with me. I appreciate your time. How are you? And welcome to our show.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on. I'm doing great.
So, Victor, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, sure. I'm a lifelong New Yorker. Grew up, born and raised in New York City. Went to school here, college, everything. Worked in the corporate world for almost 2 decades and then got let go about 5 years ago. And at that time, I decided I wanted to work for myself and become an entrepreneur. And I've been doing that the last 5 years. I'm currently a Jack Canfield certified trainer in the success principles, and in a couple of months I will be certified by Jack Canfield in his Canfield methodology, and I'm also an author.
Oh, good. Okay. So you live in New York. How's that going for you? Have you lived anywhere else in the state?
No, I've lived in New York all my life. I enjoyed it. It's a fun city, a lot of great things to do, especially during the summer. You can see all kinds of things. Great restaurants, great cultural institutions, lots of things to do. And if you love food, New York is one of the best places in the world to eat various different ethnic cuisines. And a lot of there are people from all kinds of backgrounds. You probably can hear about 170 languages when you come to New York City. So you can meet a great diverse group of people when you come here.
So the world lives in New York, right?
Absolutely. That's why some people call it the capital of the world, because the world truly lives there, which is like why the UN is probably here.
Great. So you said you worked in corporate.
Yes.
You want to tell us about your background? What did you do?
I started off working in operations, and then later on I worked for many years as a performance analyst.
What does a performance analyst do?
Well, what I did was I analyzed the performance of all our different products. So a lot of equity products, a lot of fixed income products, and I would compare them to the products offered by other companies as well as benchmarks such as the S&P 500 and the Russell 3000. So I would do research as to how we were doing against them, where we were doing better, and where we were falling short. And then I would run reports for the portfolio managers, and I would give them my insights as to what was going on, and then they will make the determinations on how to improve performance.
That's awesome. So when were you laid off, or did you just decide to quit?
Officially, I was laid off, which means I got fired.
You're supposed to say reduction in force, right?
That's what you would say if you were on a job interview. Yes. So yeah, there was a reduction in force. Yes, I was let go 5 years ago, and actually, to be honest, I was quite relieved because I'd been feeling in a bit of a rut the last several years. I'd been working in the corporate world, so I was looking for something different to do, and I was always interested in working for myself. So this gave me the perfect opportunity. So when I was let go, I was not angered or hurt. I was actually quite relieved, and I never looked back.
So between the time of working and, I mean, you obviously didn't know you were going to be let go, so that came as a shock to you?
Not totally, because the person who was the second in command of the company, he wasn't too crazy about me. So my boss actually warned me about that there was a possibility I could be let go. So I was not totally surprised.
So when did the wheels start churning about the fact that you want to become an entrepreneur? I mean, usually when people get, and I ask this because, you know, there's a lot of reduction in force happening around us a lot.
Yeah.
Companies going out. And so I want to share your experience to the people that are going to be listening.
Yeah, so I'd actually been thinking about it probably at least for the last couple of years. I was working. I got hit with this bug of really wanting to be on my own because I was really tired of the fact, number one, I wasn't too crazy about what I was doing anymore. Number two, I felt I was not in control because I could not take vacation necessarily when I wanted to. I couldn't necessarily work when I wanted to. I felt like everything was dictated by someone else and my freedom and time was limited.
Okay, so why did you think of becoming a coach? I mean, so when did that bug hit and why that bug?
Well, what happened was that didn't happen when I first started off because first I needed to learn how to become an entrepreneur and I had to get coaches and mentors myself. So once I started becoming more successful and getting better at what I was doing, I realized that I enjoyed helping people. So over the last couple of years, I've been working on that, coaching and helping people and inspiring people. I post a lot of inspirational stuff on my Facebook account. I post a lot of Facebook Live videos because I want to inspire people. Because I know when you become an entrepreneur, especially starting off, it can be very difficult. Number one, you're doing something totally new. You're not sure what you're doing. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. And the other thing is, no matter what you try to do, you can't plan for the fact there are going to be a lot of obstacles that come around because obstacles happen all the time. So what you need to realize is that obstacles are part of the process, and they're not there just to try to stop it, which is what many people think. When you're starting off, when you see an obstacle, sometimes you think, oh, I can't do this. And what you got to realize is obstacles are there to help you grow. And when you can overcome these obstacles, you can overcome pretty much anything. And they're just going to keep coming. In fact, very often when you start becoming more successful, you start getting hit with more obstacles. So you need to, that's one of the things you need to coach people on, is to realize obstacles are just part of the process, but they're not there to hinder you. They're there to help you grow. And when you can overcome them, you can overcome pretty much anything.
Okay, so how long before so why Jack Canfield? Why did you choose him as your coach?
I've always liked Jack Canfield. I remember 20 years ago when I first read his Chicken Soup for the Soul book. I really enjoyed reading it. Then I started reading some of his other books, such as The Success Principles, The Power of Focus, and The Aladdin Factor. And I really enjoyed reading his stuff. I thought he was a great teacher. And then a couple of years ago, I went to one of his events called One Day to Greatness, which was held across the river from here in New Jersey. And I got to meet the guy, and I was really impressed with what kind of person he was. Even though this man has made many millions of dollars, he's a really humble, down-to-earth guy, very approachable. You can approach him before the event or during lunchtime or after the event. You can talk to him for a minute or two. He'll take pictures with you. He didn't act like he was any better than you. He acted like he was a regular guy. And not only that, but his entire staff was very down-to-earth and very friendly. So I was really impressed by him and his staff. And from there, I signed up for other programs of his. And each time I had a great experience with Jack and his staff.
So what does his program entail, and what is your goal to do with the program?
Well, Jack's main program is based on a book of his called The Success Principles. He has 67 principles of success that he has learned over the last 40-something years, both working in the field and learning from other successful people. And if you follow these principles of success and are consistent with it, you will get results. Now, the thing is, a lot of people will read books but will not take action on it. The thing is, he says the principles always work if you work the principles. So you need to do work on these principles. So one of his events is called Breakthrough to Success. So it's a 5-day program. And one of the things he does during that event is he breaks us into groups or into pairs, and he has us do many of the exercises. And when you do the exercises, the success principles really come alive for you. So it shows the difference between theory and practice. So you need to implement the things he teaches you. And when you do, you start seeing a change in your life. But if you don't do them, nothing will happen.
Well, that's the case, right? You have a bag of groceries in your house, and if you don't do anything with it, it's not going to be a magical soup that's going to come out, right?
Absolutely. And the very first principle Jack teaches is take 100% responsibility for your life. Now, the case is very few people like to do that. Very often when something goes wrong, we'll blame our family, our spouse, the boss, the economy, your teachers. You'll blame someone or something else instead of yourself. And what Jack teaches you is you need to take 100% responsibility for your life. When you do that, it empowers you, number one, because you develop an internal locus of control versus an external locus of control, and you become solution-oriented. You try to figure things out. When you blame other people for your problems, there's a tendency not to take action, and try to figure things out. So the first thing he suggests is take 100% responsibility. And he has a formula called E plus R equals O, which means event plus responsibility, event plus response equals outcome, which means an event can happen to two people, but they'll have a different outcome because of their response. So, for example, I might be stuck in traffic and you might be in that same traffic jam. I might be yelling and screaming because I'm saying, oh, this always happens to me, and I'm just in a really bad mood. You might be happy, Munira, because you have your CD, you have your MP3 on, you're listening to some powerful motivational stuff, you're drinking, iced tea or coffee, whatever, and you're in a relaxed mood because you're responding to the situation totally differently from the way I am, even though the same event happened to us. So your response will determine the outcome. And when you realize that you have control over your response, it can really empower you.
That's awesome stuff. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing. So what is it, once you are certified with the programs, and you said you are doing an upgrade to the program, what you said?
Yes, so the program currently being trained on, in which I will be hopefully certified by the end of September, is being certified in the Canfield methodology, which means I can use the very same techniques and the slides that he uses in his talk. So I'm going to be able to use many of the same techniques that Jack uses in his talk. So I'm going to be certified in the Canfield methodology.
So what are you doing? What are you going to do with that? And how? I mean, I know that it's his methodology, that you have to be certified to use it, but what would you do with that?
Well, one of the things I'm planning to do is I'm going to be holding more workshops in this, teaching the success principles. So I'm going to be doing more workshops, more webinars, trying to spread his teachings to other people, because I believe when you learn the success principles, it can really change your life. And it's not just making more money. You can be successful in all kinds of endeavors, because these are principles apply to many different fields. So one of the things Jack wants to do is he wants to get 1 million trainers by 2030. So I'm going to try to help teach those people the success principles through workshops, through webinars. I will be writing more about it in future books and blog posts. So I'm going to try to utilize as much as I can to teach people. And I plan to do more public speaking. So when I'm speaking on stage, I'm going to share some of the success principles to my audiences.
So tell me, you said you wrote a book. You are an author.
Yes, I wrote a book called You Can Become Successful, and it's right here. And if people are interested, they can buy it on Amazon. It's also available on Kindle. And basically what I write about in that book is I share many of the things I've learned over the years, both through personal experience and from mentors and other people, the things people need to do to become successful. And if they implement the things I teach them, they will get results if they're consistent and they are persistent.
That's awesome, because so you said that you can get them on Amazon and Kindle?
Yes, yeah. Kindle is just the kind of like the ebook
Yes.
version of Amazon. Yes, so it's available both in paperback and on Kindle. So they could just look me up, Victor Dedaj, and my book will pop up. You Can Become Successful.
Okay. And so have you, as you have trained other people along the way, what is your success rate?
Well, the people that follow what I do, they get much better results than the people who don't. Unfortunately, not everyone follows what you do. So it's really, that's what it comes down to. It's like with Jack. If you follow what he teaches you, you get results. So those that do what I tell them to do, what I coach them on, they get good results. The ones that don't, they don't get it. It's because they don't apply it. So if you apply what I teach, you will get good results.
But that's like that with everything. That's why you have to read the Bible every day, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, here's the thing. Jim Rohn said, you can't hire someone to do your pushes for you. So you can only guide people. You can tell them, recommend what to do, but you can't force them to take action. It's like when someone joins a network marketing company, the company can provide all the trainings out there to help the person succeed in that company. But the truth is, many people don't take action on it. And the company can't force them to take action on it. So you can only try to help them and guide them. But unfortunately, you can't force them to do it. It's they have to take the initiative. They have to take the action. So it's really up to them. Most people that I work with are willing to do it, but not everyone does.
That's true. That's true. Because I think you have to instill these habits in your life all the
Hmm.
time to make yourself successful. And what
Hmm.
minute it's like a diet, right? You start off with a gung ho, and by 7 days or 8 days, you decide, oh, this is too hard for me, or oh, I can't do this, or I can cheat today, something like that, and you get off the track.
No, that's absolutely right. We are where we are as a result of our habits, and 90% of the things we do is because of habits, and a lot of those habits are very useful to us, but sometimes you have destructive habits that can prevent you from being successful. So it's habit and mindset to you. Sometimes you might have poor habits, but those habits are learned. The good thing is you can unlearn them, but a lot of people don't unlearn them. So, and you're right, a lot of people will try something new. They'll try a diet and they'll give up after 7 days because they say it's too hard, or they'll try a new business opportunity and they'll give up after a couple weeks because they say it's too hard. And one of the reasons is because you can't do it solely by willpower. You have to do it by habit. You have to surround yourself with successful people. You have to keep in touch with them. You should, I recommend being part of a mastermind group. Mastermind groups are very powerful. They can help you out a lot. And if you want to be successful in something, if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur, for example, or even on a diet, get yourself an accountability partner, because an accountability partner will keep you accountable. So this person you'll talk to once or twice a week, and they will check to see if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and they won't take any excuses for you. It's like if you're at a regular 9 to 5 job, your boss will keep you accountable. If you don't do the work that you're supposed to, you're going to get into trouble, and down the road you might even get fired. So accountability partner will do the same thing. So if you really want to succeed at something, get yourself an accountability partner, because it is so. The thing is, the things that we need to do to be successful, a lot of them are easy to do, but they're also not easy to do. It's easy just to not do them. It's especially if you're trying to work for yourself because you don't have a boss telling you what to do. It's easy to just take a couple of days off because you're not going to get into trouble, but you also won't be able to make any money. So,
Isn't that the truth?
yep.
So, how do you find an accountability partner?
Well, you can ask friends for recommendations, and if you're an entrepreneur, you can ask fellow entrepreneurs who would be a good accountability partner. Same thing applies to mentors. You can ask friends or people you highly respect who is a good mentor, and just ask around. Or it might be someone you know personally. You realize this person is very responsible. I think this person can, keep me in line. So those are the things I recommend in terms of finding an accountability partner.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time and thank you. Is there anything else you would like to add for our viewers?
Yeah, so I would just want to reiterate, number one, if you want to be successful, you got to take 100% responsibility for your life. A couple other things I would definitely recommend is model other people. Success leaves clues. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to figure it out all by yourself. Learn from other people, model other people. Get yourself a mentor. It was almost impossible to succeed on your own. If you look at athletes, top athletes like Serena Williams or LeBron James, they have coaches to guide them. And you really need to get a mentor if you want to succeed. You need to be consistent. You can't do this, work on it 2 or 3 days, take off a week, and then work for a few days. If I want to have muscles like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I have to go to the gym several times a week, eat better, and be consistent, exercise. And if I do that over the course of a year, I'm going to have bigger muscles. But if I'm not consistent in this, I will not have the kind of muscles Arnold Schwarzenegger has. And be focused. When you get started, don't try to do 10 things at once. Don't join 10 companies at once, because instead of having multiple streams of income, you're going to have multiple streams of debt. So what I recommend is when you get started, focus on one thing. So if you want to be a network marketer, focus on one company. Get good at it, make your money. Then you can add an additional stream. And be persistent. Here's the thing. When you're starting off, you're not going to get results immediately. You need to be persistent. Build a foundation. Foundations are very important. The Chinese bamboo tree builds its roots for 4 to 5 years. It's underground, but because it's building its roots and it's, you know, it's really setting itself up. In the 5th year, it can grow 90 feet. So building a foundation is very important. And personal development is extremely important. Jim Rohn said, if you work hard on yourself, work harder on yourself than at your job. Because if you work hard at your job, you can make a living. But if you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. And if you develop yourself, you can succeed in anything. So if you join a network marketing company and it goes down, but if you have developed yourself, you can take your talents anywhere and succeed in it. And that's why a lot of people who are successful, they might become millionaires and they lose it all, but because of their development and their mindset, they made that $1 million again. So that is the last thing I will say, and I will end it there. Work on your mindset. Your mindset is very important because many people have limiting beliefs, and limiting beliefs can stop you from succeeding. If you have a positive and powerful mindset, it can take you to great places. If you have a negative mindset, even if you get money, you can lose it, which is why many lottery winners are broke 5 years after they win the lottery. So work on your mindset. That's actually the most important thing getting started, developing that positive mindset, which is why I recommend surrounding yourself with positive and motivational people. And that's it.
That's awesome advice. Wow. Just in 5 minutes, you gave us so much. So 100% responsibility, get a mentor, grow and growth, self-development and growth, right? And might change your mindset.
Absolutely.
Wow. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Victor. For those people who are watching, please subscribe to our channel. Victor is an awesome guy. You can get his book from Amazon on Kindle or have the book in hand and follow the principles. I would suggest to everybody to just start reading a motivational book instead of watching TV, right?
Absolutely. If you read 10 pages of a good book every day, it's 3,650 pages in a year. That will make a big difference in your life. And they say readers are leaders.
There you go. Thank you so much. And please like and subscribe to our channel and have a good day.
Have a good day, Munira. Take care.